So annual leave is hugely important to allow people to recharge, to have some space away from work, and to be paid to have a rest, basically. So the Holidays Act says that it's an entitlement for any working person to have at least one break of not less than 2 weeks every year. So whether you have 4 or 5 weeks annual leave or 6 weeks annual leave or a different amount, you have an absolute lawful entitlement for at least one break of not less than 2 weeks if that is what you would like to do. Also, if your employer thinks they can't spare you at a certain point in time, you can actually have negotiation around that. And while your employer can make the call at the end of the day, they still have an obligation to support you to access your leave in a timely fashion. So it's always worth thinking about how you access your annual leave, whether you want a big chunk of leave, whether that happens over Christmas or you want to have access to some of the school holidays to spend time with your kids. And also think about it, if you have 6 weeks annual leave a year or 4 weeks annual leave a year, that means a week every 3 months or a week every 2 months. That actually, if we all did that, would really help us keep our tanks full, to have some time away from work, to have a break, to do other things. And it's important, if you're part of a team, that you have regular team chats about when people are wanting to schedule leave, how you're going to share that out, making sure that it's fair and it's reasonable. And if you're in a workplace that has to cover over holiday periods, Easter, Christmas, those types of things, that's shared around, and that you know that your turn will come and that you will have a guaranteed opportunity to have some time out in your turn. And it's important that those mechanisms are shared and understood across the whole team and are able to be renegotiated from time to time as well. Just because you've done something for 30 years doesn't mean it's still appropriate or it's still in everybody's best interests. It's also useful if you do have arrangements about how you access leave, particularly if there are times in the year where there's going to be more demand than it's possible to meet, like school holidays or Christmas, that those agreements about how it's parcelled out and shared around are in writing. So it's not personalised. It's about what's going to meet the needs of as many staff as possible, as well as the requirements on the organisation to provide services. So hopefully, if these things are worked through well ahead of time, booking leave and accessing leave is something that's relatively straightforward and not a further bone of conflict or contention. It should be something that you look forward to and have regular access to. No employer actually wants people to leave with a large leave balance. There are financial implications to that and costs, but also that's not what it's for. The leave is there to make sure you have time to rest, to recuperate, and to enjoy yourself.